Hey, everyone. Blockchain Bernie here. Jupiter, the famous Jupiter exchange on the Solana blockchain, just recently launched their token a few days ago. They also did a big airdrop. It was millions of wallets that got airdrops from Jupiter. And the big question is, should you buy some if you weren't part of the airdrop? Maybe you want to buy some JUP tokens, JUP, or if you were part of the airdrop, should you sell your tokens? And yeah, how does this all look like? What is Jupiter and all these things? I'll just dive into all those things in this video for you, so please watch it all through the end. So for now, let's just dive right into it. And let's see what Jupiter actually is. So when you go to the website, jup.ag, and AG actually should stand for aggregator, right? So that's how Jupiter started. They were an aggregator that aggregates all the exchanges where you can swap your tokens. So what that really means is they are connected to all the exchanges on the Solana blockchain, and then if you want to swap your whatever USDC to Sol or stuff like that, and they have all the different tokens here, and they find you the best prices. So that's why they got super popular. And everyone I know, if they want to do a quick swap on the Solana blockchain, they just go through Jupiter, just because they know all the prices on all the exchanges and they give you the best price, right? So that's how they grew for years now, right? But they have other stuff on there. You can also place limit orders there, and limit orders is one of the things that's only possible on Solana. So you can trade just as you can, in the centralized traditional finance world, right? And place your limit orders and say, I want to buy some Sol, but I don't want to pay more than 95 USDC, right? Right now it's trading at 97.5. So you might have to wait a little bit until it comes down to 95, and then boom, it'll fill the order for you, right? This is, with the aggregator, that's all not their own technology, right? It's not like they have that decentralized exchange or something like that. They just aggregate what others have built. And I think that's smart. They just don't reinvent the wheel. They focus on having the direct customer interaction, right? And that is so important. They own the customer. The customer comes to Jupiter, and they do great marketing, and they pick the best technology that's already there. So that's great. And then they have DCA, which is the dollar cost averaging. So you could say, okay, buy me this and that token every month or every day or whatever. They can bridge, transfer assets to Solana from other blockchains, or do some on-ramp here from fiat currencies. And they have perps, right? Perps are perpetuals, and those are perpetual futures, and these basically allow you to have some leverage there, right? So on traditional finance, you mostly do that with options to get some leverage, or you do it with futures that have some expiry, some expiration date on traditional finance. On the blockchain, it's basically mostly done with perpetual futures. So it looks and feels like you trade the actual thing. You have the Sol perp here, and it feels like you're trading Sol, but you don't have to pay the full price. You just pay, 10% of it for a 10-for-1 leverage there, and that's also great stuff, right? And with the perps, it seems it's in beta here, and it seems Jupiter has actually developed that, and it's their own technology, whereas with the other stuff here, they are aggregating what's already out there, or they're using Solana programs that have already been provided, for example, by XandeumLabs and others. So now let's look at their token, right? The Jupiter token, JUP. So Let's go back a few days. It's just they started on February 1st, so just a few days ago. And you see price went down slightly here. So it in the beginning, it started at almost 75 cents. We're at like 55, 56 at the time of recording. But that's in line with the market, right? There was that bad news from Jerome Powell, and interest rates might not be cut as fast as many people have hoped, which is bad news for crypto. So that was about to be expected. It's not necessarily a bad sign for the JUP token in itself. So let's look at the market cap, which is important. It's about $750 million right now, the fully diluted valuation. So once all tokens would be circulating, that'd be 5.6 billion. With a total supply and max supply of 10 billion tokens. So let's compare that to the Jito token, and I'll just like to compare that because they had their airdrop just a few weeks before that. So let's just compare it. Let's look into a JTO here, the Jito token, and we see the price development here. Just recently similar. And the market cap right now is 220 million. So that's, what is that, a third about of the JUP valuation. And the fully diluted valuation is 1.88 billion. So that's also about a third or so of the Jupiter fully diluted valuation. So now let's try to figure that out, right? What is this valuation a good valuation? Is it a point where I would buy these tokens? Honestly, for Jito, when I see this here, 220 million, 1.8 billion, that would almost be a buy for me at this point in time, because I feel the economic moat of Jito is so high, right? They own MEV on the Solana chain, and I think MEV is super, super tiny. It had really high growth rates since they launched, and it will be tough for anyone else to enter that field because they went to the Solana mainnet validators. About 50% of the stake of the whole Solana blockchain is running the Jito validator software, and it'll be tough for anyone else to enter that field. Also, they have great marketing, they have great technology, they ship software very fast, and MEV is going to be a big thing in Solana DeFi, and it's going to grow, and it's going to grow faster than Solana itself. So JTO, I would say it's a buy, right? When we look at Jupiter, it has a higher valuation here, and their moat basically is not driven by technology. I mean, their moat is more driven by owning the customer, right? And being well known in the Solana community. Everyone's going there when they want to swap something. It is a big moat to have that kind of branding, but I feel it is still relatively fragile, right? There can be people anytime, new startups anytime, that have a better marketing, and they can grab these, right? So let's say, let's go many decades back, right? Like many decades back, I thought Yahoo owns web search, right? I thought like nobody can grab that because Yahoo was almost synonymous with searching on the web, right? Google was able to grab that leading position from them in no time, right? And people just used a different search engine. They just used Google instead of Yahoo, right? For some features, marketing strategies, whatever that they had, and maybe some technology things. But it can happen so fast, right? So that's how I feel, right? Sometimes, branding, marketing can be huge, and there's probably a lot of drinks that taste as good as Coca-Cola, but it's tough to sell as many bottles or cans of those drinks that Coca-Cola does, and that's a branding and marketing position, right? But still, Coca-Cola is in a very mature market and stuff like that. Jupiter, it's not mature. It's all not settled. So I feel that mode, which is basically marketing driven, if they push forward as they have been doing all along, I mean, they can stay there and they can become the leader and they can kind of own a DeFi on the Solana chain. And when I look at their founder with nickname Meow, and I've watched a few interviews with him, and he's a great guy, and I think he's determined to push this thing forward and be the exchange on the Solana chain. But if I look at this market cap here and compare it to other things that are going on, and even to Solana itself and things like that, I would definitely hold the token, and I still hold all my 9,500 JUP tokens that got airdropped to me. I would, frankly, at this valuation, I would not aggressively buy it, right? For those reasons that I just mentioned, right? I would also not sell them, right? If I have them, whether I bought them at some point in time or just in my case, have them through the airdrop, I'm just holding them for now, right? And see what happens. And I think it's a great project, right? Don't get me wrong. I just feel like it's already quite a high market cap, and we'll need to see. I mean, they have their labs there. They started their LFG thing, which is their launch pad for new projects. They develop all the technology. They are relatively weak as of now with their own technology, and they don't have to do all their technology themselves, right? It's smart to just use what's already there and not reinvent the wheel. But then, owning the customer, the branding, the marketing will be key, and we'll have to observe if they can, build and keep a leading position there, right? And that's how I see things, and hope that helped you a little bit. Also, let's look into DeFi Llama here, which gives us all the stats on Solana DeFi in this case. And, it's all sorted here by total value locked. And naturally, these liquid staking platforms here, people lock a lot of their assets into staking, also into lending, because people just want to lend it out and make some additional APY. And then when we come to the exchanges, it starts here with Orca and Radium. So they have like 161 million, 140 million locked. And then Jupiter isn't here because Jupiter isn't a staking platform. Jupiter is not a DEX of its own where value could get locked. But Jupiter Perpetual, the perps, the product that is in beta, and it's their own product, and they already have an impressive $100 million locked in there. I think that's very impressive, and let's see how that develops. So we see that here, 100 million, and we have the others here that I talked about, the the liquid staking platforms, and then Orca Radium. Here it starts with the dexes, and yeah, I find this quite impressive here. They are also, and you see that on the Jupiter website. If you go to that station thing here, and then go to stats, right? They give you their stats. So if you do by month here, then you see the trading volume by month. So first of all, you see an impressive growth here. It was 16.6 billion in November, 11 billion in December, and now it's 15 again in January. So that is quite impressive here, the volume that they are handling, right? And Solana DeFi is growing. It's growing faster than Ethereum DeFi and anything. The number of transactions per month here, that's about 1 million transactions each and every day. Almost 1 million unique wallets that are using Jupiter. This is all super, super impressive, right? And some people are saying, you know, Jupiter can be bigger than Binance, right? It can be, obviously, but they still have to prove that. I think they're at the beginning. It will be a huge, huge market. Many will be fighting for it. I always have that story of Yahoo versus Google in my mind. And I see, as of now, relatively little technical moat here, right? So from all the technology, it is relatively easy to get into their turf. It's all a matter of marketing. And I think we're so early in the marketing phase here, and it's not like we need billions and billions of dollars to get this amount of customers. So yeah, I would love to see a little bit more here if they can stay on top of everything, and if they can be the primary destination for Solana DeFi in the future. And it might very well be a buy, and it might very well be that I regret this decision, not having bought today. But I can, you know, I can only go like, you know, my own gut feeling. And it seems like, well, at this prices, maybe I'll just wait and see. I'll definitely hold my tokens. There's no point in selling these off right now. But otherwise, I think like, yeah, there's better opportunities right now. For example, the JTO token. Alrighty. So if you like content like this, please give me that like button. Also, leave me some comments down below, because this is obviously not an easy topic, right? There is so many opinions there, and I would love to know what you think about all this, and I would love to discuss it with you right down here in the comments. So please do that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification button. I'm posting 3 times a week with everything around blockchain, especially in the Solana world, and also especially about our own scalable storage layer that we're building for Solana called Xandeum. If you haven't heard of Xandeum, go to Xandeum.com, link in the description, and subscribe to our Discord or email list or Twitter just to stay up to date with everything. Hope you enjoyed this video, and catch you guys later. Peace.